Your ability to persuade others is one of the most powerful resources you will ever discover. During this eye-opening podcast, you'll join Wayne Sutton as you uncover the secrets of influence based upon science and proven in the real world.
Today's podcast brought to you by sellingyourcoaching.com. Sellingyourcoaching.com. If you're a coach, consultant, course creator, and you are in the beginning stages or you're already doing multiple six figures and you're looking to scale, then jump on board, sellingyourcoaching.com. Now, let's get into the podcast. Today I'm going to share with you a very, I wouldn't say unique, but often misunderstood way of building an audience for people that are going to buy your coaching, people that are going to buy your products, your services, etc. Now, there's a couple different methods to this. For our private clients, I will map out an exact game plan, but I'm going to go back 15 years ago. I'm going to share with you what I did in ministry, how it worked, and I got away from it. And I got away from it because we had a birth of our oldest daughter. We had some things going on, some things changing in business. But I got away from it. But if I hadn't, it's not like, looking back, if I had been consistent. So I'm going to help you start and be consistent. And this is really building an audience by interviewing other people. Building an audience by interviewing other people. So here on this podcast, I'm going to begin interviewing other people. But in our podcast years ago, it was a Christian podcast. And in fact, the platform, I think it was called TalkShoe.com. I don't even think they're around anymore. And so what I did was I interviewed, I'm a minister, so I interviewed other ministries that had a bigger following. I interviewed other ministries that had books, or they were doing conferences, or they were walking in a certain realm. Like this person is seeing a lot of divine miracles. This person is seeing a lot of the supernatural. This person is reaching multitudes in evangelism. And so I reached out to them, and it was really simple. And think about this. Now, there was Facebook, but there was not a lot of what's out there today. So I just had to Google and I had to find them. And I'd reach out to them and say, hey, my name's Wayne Sutton. I'm the founder of StraightTalkWithWayne.com. I would love to have you on our show. And listen, guys, I didn't have any mentor teaching me this. I figured it out. Amen. Someone come on with some grit. So I just figured it out. But this is what my show is about. Here's who I reach. And many said, hey, no, I don't have time. That was one particular worship artist I really wanted to have on board. She said, I just don't have time. I appreciate it. There was other ones that said, yes, let's connect after this. And I never connected with. Then there was some that said, yeah, let's do it. And I would have set up a time. Say, okay, cool. What's the best number to call you at? I called them from, you're going to love this, guys, from BlackBerry. I called them and just kind of three-wayed them into the TalkShoe server or whatever. Anyway, and it worked. And it was definitely not fancy. It's definitely not what you can do today with simple Audacity or GarageBand or something. And, but it worked. Then I would promote it. And now some of them would promote it. But a lot of people didn't care who Wayne Sutton was as a minister because I was not well known. But they did care about this person and this person had heard of them. So they were like, hey, let me check out this interview. And basically what you're doing is you're borrowing the authority of that person. Okay? You're borrowing the authority of that person. And so, but hey, be sure to subscribe if you wanted to go next week. We're going to have this person on, or this is who we got in 3 weeks from now. Be sure to subscribe. And so I got people to follow the podcast. And then I would also get up a plug, just like you heard the plug at the beginning of this podcast for sellingyourcoaching.com. I'd be really simple. Hey, if you're looking for coaching, ministry, etc., go here. And I picked up life coaching clients like crazy. I'm telling you guys, it really worked well. So let's fast forward to 2024. What would I do today different? Well, number one, you need to be interviewed and you need to interview others. So being interviewed, I did 2 interviews this week. Both were Christian Entrepreneur Podcast. Okay. Setting up some interviews for next week. But so I'm being interviewed, which means I'm tapping into their audience. 1, has a significant audience. I don't know the numbers. One has over 1 million subscribers on Instagram, 1 million followers, should I say, and we had thousands of people that's already viewed it in the last 8 hours. Yeah, so what am I doing? I'm tapping into their audience. I'm bringing value. And he's like, hey, Wayne, how can people learn about you? I'm like, well, if they want to become a certified life coach and build a coaching business, then go to lifecoachlifestyle.com. They want to learn about the ministry, they can go here. And so I'm tapping into the audience. I'm borrowing the authority of the person that has 1 million plus followers. And because I will also promote that, he's tapping into my follower base. So being interviewed is very important. Second thing you want to do is you want to interview others. Guys, I'm literally, and listen, you can go way out on podcasting. And if you choose to be a podcaster full time and you really choose to use podcasting as a platform, then there's some details we can get into on one-on-one, some people I can recommend, some software. Me personally, I'm telling you guys, I use GarageBand, which is on my Mac. I upload it into Podbean, and I know that's not the only one out there. And then Podbean, of course, the aggregators pick it up and put it on iTunes and everything else. Then I download the little video that it creates for me, and I upload it to my YouTube channel and to a couple of Facebook posts. Then I go about my day. I spend literally probably 10 to 15 minutes recording it, and probably 10 to 15 minutes distribution-wise. And I could easily have a virtual assistant do that. I could easily have a podcast manager, podcast person to go and do that, and probably will at some point. But for me, this is just one area. I want to get my name out. I want to help people, and I want to let people know about, sellingyourcoaching.com. So this is how I do it. Also, because this is hosted from our yourpersuasioncoach.com, I could make it 2 separate podcasts. But personally, I like to talk about persuasion and influence and sales and marketing. And I love to talk about coaching, so we're doing it under one. The point is, that doesn't mean it's right or wrong. It just means that's the way we're doing it. So for you, what if you were to do a podcast? Now, the beautiful thing is, it doesn't have to be, you don't have to interview thousands of people. You could just get on here and do a daily talk like I'm doing, Monday through Friday. Sam Crowley, every day is Saturday. .com. Sam does 7 days a week, and has done it for over a decade. And he's done, he has built a great following, and he's built a good business around it. For what I'm telling you to do is just decide. And here's the key, Wayne, I don't know what to talk about. Well, in our coaching program, our 10 by 10 matrix, I will give you more than enough information. In fact, you'll discover more than enough information to talk about whatever your niche is, to your ideal avatar, every single day without ever running out of information and without using AI. If you want to use AI, use it. But anyway, so the point of an audience is, so let me get back and try to jump in there really quick. Something I think is extremely important and something we need to talk about is I want you to recognize this. When you interview others, it's a great way to grow your audience, providing valuable content, and you don't have to create it all yourself. Ask them questions, let them do the content, put it on your webpage, which is also what I do. Put it on yourpersuasioncoach.com. Put it on your webpage. Place it in YouTube. Upload it. Make reels of it. Do whatever you want to do. Get it out there. Number 2, anyone can start interviewing. Even with simple subjects. Interview other people. I've got a network marketing coach that Ron Batchelor I've interviewed years ago. I'm going to be interviewing again. I've got other people I'm going to be interviewing again because I want to bring you guys massive value. Also, to connect with potential clients. I did a podcast interview the other day, and at the end of the interview, they said, okay, Wayne, well, what's the constraint in your business? And what they did was they tried to sell me from the podcast. Whether I like that or not, whether I agree with that or not, doesn't matter. It works. So networking potential, the potential to even possibly help your guest. Reliability. Conducting interviews ensures you have content as long as the interviewee shows up. I will say that I have had people no-show me, forget about it, things come up. It's okay. Just have some other content ready. And if you want to know more, this is one thing. I really believe you could do a 10-minute, how far are we into today? Maybe almost 10 minutes now. You could do a 10-minute show every day. Get it out there. Yeah, you may get just a few views. And here's the key. We're not trying to be Joe Rogan. If you can be, right? If you can get that kind of views. But it's not the amount of views. It's not the amount of downloads. It's that you're speaking to the right person. And if you're speaking to the right person, a 10, 15-minute daily podcast, or even 30-minute, an hour, 3-hour interview can bring you so much value to other people. It can bring them so much value, then it can bring you clients, period. So be sure to plug yourself and let people know how they can work with you or not. And also, if you remember, and if you don't, then go back and listen to our show from yesterday on how to build invisible rapport, unconscious trust. There was frequency, right? The word number one, proximity, but let's go to proximity, frequency, and duration, and then relevance. Think about this. Let's take frequency out. Let's really take proximity out of. But of the other three, how frequently are they hearing you? Now, you may listen to my podcast every day, or you may not follow it every day, but you're listening to it now, aren't you? Then there's duration. Are you listening to a 60-second reel? Are you listening to a 10-minute video? Or are you doing 20 hours of private coaching with me? So there's different duration times. And then relevant. If you're listening to this, I'm pretty sure it's safe to say you want to be able to influence yourself. You want to be able to influence other people. You want to be able to sell people into your product, your service, your coaching program. So it's relevant. That's what you need to do. Go to now listen, this is real important. If you'll follow this, I know you will get results. Go to sellingyourcoaching.com, sellingyourcoaching.com. Name, email address. Let's hop on a call. Let's see if I can help you. Map this out for you. And if you're listening to this, you can go, hey, Wayne, I think I would be a great person to have on your podcast. Send me a message. Let me know. Just send me an email, wayne@yourpersuasioncoach.com. Let me know, and I would love to have you on board. So this is Wayne. I believe in you. Go out there and change lives. Change lives today and get paid well for doing it. God bless.
Go to yourpersuasioncoach.com for more powerful resources on how to influence yourself, influence others, and impact the world.